Solo board gaming night here, and today I'm going to be reviewing a solo only board game, Hoplomachus Victorum. With that out of the way, let me give you an overhead view of the table so you get an idea of how much space the game takes up. Although the game mat is very wide, I'm pretty sure it'll fit on pretty much any table, and the whole entire game takes place on that game mat. With that one exception of the stadium up top, this game should have no problem being placed on any table. With that said and done, let's go ahead and take a look at the box and see what's inside. The box art of Hoplomachus Victorum is very beautifully done. It's illustrated beautifully on all sides. Now, I will say that the back leaves a little bit to be desired, in my opinion, but other than that, it looks great. When compared to Too Many Bones, Hoplomachus Victorum is much wider, not as tall, and thinner. And although it's a similar size as Burncycle, it's significantly thinner. But even with that, Hoplomachus Victorum is a very heavy box. Thankfully, everything does fit inside the box, but the insert is not up to the chip theory game quality that I'm used to. In the box, you'll find 4 double-sided arena neoprene mats that you'll be using during gameplay, a hero trackpad, which in my opinion, I actually recommend that you upgrade it to the neoprene version. You'll also find the wide game mat in which the entire game takes place in. On top of that, you'll find all the chips, cards, and map tracker, as well as a stadium which is going to hold all the chips, dice, and cards that you're going to need during gameplay. And finally, you're going to find the reference sheet, as well as the cyan epilogues and a rulebook. Speaking of the rulebook, it's very well illustrated, very clear, and it has 34 pages of rules that you have to learn. I also like that the back has a nice quick reference guide as well. In my opinion, it's easier to learn when compared to Too Many Bones. However, it's slightly more difficult when compared to Burncycle. With that out of the way, let's go over just the basics on how to play. I'm gonna let you know though, this video had to be redone because the how to play section was so long, it just can't be done. This game has too many rules to learn, so I'm gonna condense it to a really quick summary. You'll be traveling alongside a path on the map, and depending on which space you land on, will determine the type of event that you'll be participating in. There's the Bloodsport event, which is a lethal event, as well as sporting events which include Capture the Flag, King of the Hill, and Sparring. As you travel across the map, you'll be visiting different regions. Each one of those regions have their very own arenas in which you get to take battle in. It gives the whole entire map its own personality depending on which region you're visiting at the time. Not only that, but it completely changes the way you do battle. There are 4 acts in the game. Each act has 12 weeks worth of events. During that time, you'll find yourself participating in a variety of different lethal and non-lethal events. Upgrading your character, and depending how you upgrade your character, whether you want to increase their HP, increase your leadership, which will increase the amount of units you can have in your camp, or upgrade or add attack dice to make you stronger, will determine your chances when you're facing off against the Primuses, and finally making your way to the final showdown with the Scion. Hopefully you can stop the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Now, on to the review. The component quality of Hoplomachus Victorum is exactly what I expect from chip theory games. I do want to say that the cards don't feel as thick as they do in Too Many Bones, but they're still very sturdy and high quality cards. There will be absolutely no need to sleeve these cards. The chips are also that very high quality that you expect from chip theory games. Just like Too Many Bones and Burncycle before it, they feel very heavy, hefty. They feel good when you're moving the chips around the mat. Everything feels great. When you're shuffling them in the bag, it feels great. It feels heavy. It has that nice little clinky noise to it. Now, one thing I want to say is that the bag, although it's well made, it's not big enough to fit the chips that you're going to need to fit, because by the time you get to around Act 3, the bag gets really heavy, difficult to shuffle the chips inside, and it kind of becomes a lethal weapon of sorts. It's so heavy. I just wish that the bag was slightly bigger. And once again, when it comes to the neoprene mats, Chip Theory game knocked it out of the park. They all feel great. They're well done, stitched beautifully. It's a magnificent feeling game. It feels like a game that's going to last forever. However, I did not like that when you're looking at the map, there's these paths, these dotted lines, and on certain parts of the map, these dotted lines are really difficult to see. Like, I know they're there. I just wish that it would have had a different color scheme or something that would have made it pop out much easier. What I really like, however, is the stadium seating that holds all the chips, dice, and cards that you'll be using during your gameplay. It reduces the clutter and just looks so great on the table. When it comes to quality, just like Too Many Bones and Burncycle before it, Chip Theory game knocked it out of the park. Unfortunately, bad luck draws can make an arena battle feel unfair at times. If you happen to draw 2 or more powerful rival units consecutively, you may find yourself surrendering to avoid losing or dwindling your camp units. Surrendering is bad for a few reasons. First of all, your scion influence increases, which causes Banes to be put and placed either in your bag or in your camp. Getting rid or removing Banes is incredibly difficult, and they can give you huge headaches later on throughout the campaign. However, surrendering may be the better option if it means avoiding losing very useful units or even having your hero fall in battle. Whenever your hero is defeated or you need to replenish your units, it costs blessings. The thing is that once you run out of blessing, if your hero falls or is defeated and there's no more blessing left, you lose the entire campaign. So you really have to be careful on how you use the blessings, when you use it, and if you could avoid them at all costs. It stinks when it happens, but it is also part of the strategy and options available to you. Speaking of options, the amount of choices available to you is what I believe to be the biggest shining point of Hoplomachus Victorum. This is where the game truly shines and opens up a literal world of options. Whether deciding how to travel the map through its various regions and events, or simply deciding which units should join the fray and which units should remain in camp, every decision absolutely matters. Maybe you should first allow a few of your non-elite units to enter the arena before your hero makes his heroic entrance. Maybe you decide to upgrade or add attack dice before increasing your health or leadership, which also determines how many units you can hold and can be in your camp at one time. Everything you do matters. Depending which event you choose determines how you grow your hero and camp. Even though arenas can offer more choices that are available to you during battle, but they also help your rival units too, so it's kind of a two-way street there. Hoplomachus Victorum is filled to the brim with choices, and it is outstanding. Fun fact, this video ended up being well over an hour long, and it was heavily edited. I didn't even get to add the fact that you could use tactics and how you could use them and how your rival can use them on you. This game just has so many options, so much strategy that it is something that if you enjoy strategy, tactics, and a lot of options, you're going to adore this game. With that said, I do want to add that I wish there was a different way that tactics could have been added, because sometimes the only way to really know which tactics are on who is by lifting up the chip and actually looking underneath the chip, which sometimes made me forget what tactics was on who and which unit. That's a minor nitpick, but something that was worth adding and mentioning. The options and decisions don't end there. The events available to you add even more to your choices and are incredibly well done and fun to face. I had a lot of fun facing these events. Whether you're taking on a lethal event called Bloodshed, or you're taking on a sport event, which is a non lethal event, the gameplay is constantly changing. Things get really interesting in sporting events. This is where you get to choose to play a game of capture the flag or king of the hill. You can also spar with people as well, but these events are standout. They're so much fun when they come up, and I just couldn't get enough from them, especially when it came to capture the flag and king of the hill. Awesome stuff. In sporting events, a tribune needs to be assigned to a rival unit. If the Tribune is ever defeated, your hero's health goes all the way down to 1 HP. Now, this happens even if your hero is in camp and not even in battle. The reason that this happens is this ensures that you don't just go in rushing into the arena, demolishing all the rival units, and kind of getting the cheap win. This lets you once again use strategy to accomplish your goal. The real stars of the show, however, are the arenas with the obstacles and the countless opportunities each arena offers to both you and your rivals. The arenas completely change the way you approach combat. From roaming beasts and burning floors, to tossing a trident across the arena, to being shackled with a partner. You will find yourself strategizing, upgrading, and smiling your way through the regions until you go face to face with the Scion. Hoplomachus Victorum offers top notch gameplay mechanics and strategy. I cannot emphasize this enough. Game length can be a huge issue depending on what you're looking for in a solo board game. Here's the thing, it's going to depend on how you play the game. I'm not sure exactly how long my campaigns took me to beat, but it took me a long time. I'd say easily each campaign took anywhere between 4 to 5 hours at the least. The thing is, I left the game out for over a month, like way over a month. I don't remember exactly how long, but it was a long time. And every day I would play about 4 to 5 events, sometimes more, depending how I felt, right? Or how much time I had. And I would just walk away and return to it the next day. During that time away from the game, the thing that I did notice that would happen to me is that I was constantly thinking about how I was going to travel the map and which events I should focus on so I could upgrade myself the best, so I can have a better chance to defeat the Scions and the Primuses that I would fight. Now, Hoplomachus Victorum was constantly on my mind. With that said, the game is fairly easy to tear down and store away. It includes a very easy to follow save system to help you come back and set it up. You can even take pictures and that to help you out. It's really simple to do though. However, if you want to sit down and play a complete campaign in one sitting, repetition may set in. Not only that, it's going to take you a long time. I think it might take you just a little bit too long to truly enjoy playing it in one sitting. However, if you could leave it set up, or if you don't mind using the save system, Hoplomachus Victorum becomes another amazing chip theory game. I loved it. But then again, I wanted to let you know that I'm a huge Too Many Bones fan, and I really enjoyed Burncycle. Of these three games, I still think that Too Many Bones remains my number one, followed by Hoplomachus Victorum, and finally, Burncycle. None of these games disappointed me. I loved them all almost equally. I just think that Too Many Bones edges them all out. And all of them are worthy games to have in my collection. The theme and art is top notch in Hoplomachus Victorum. Just one glance at the box art alone offers a beautiful depiction of the challenges that lie ahead. The chips are well done, well illustrated, and have an incredible amount of detail. From your heroes to the rivals and the allies that you will eventually get in your camp, the art is amazing. The neoprene mats set the mood and really sell you on the idea that you're taking part in a gladiatorial amphitheater arena. This is one gorgeous looking game. If the theme interests you, I think you're going to find a lot to love here. In closing, the component quality is exactly what you'd expect from chip theory games. The stadium seating component alone says it all. Unlucky draws can frustrate and really throw a wrench in your plans. Unfortunately, it sometimes makes the game feel a little bit unfair. However, the amount of options available to you are numerous and feel incredibly rewarding. Every decision counts. Stellar strategy. Absolutely stellar. The events are varied and coupled with the arenas truly elevate the gameplay and create some epic and exhilarating moments. Now, the game length can be a deterrent for those seeking something quick to play. Thankfully, all of the events really are quick to play, and Hoplomachus Victorum offers a great save system, but the campaign is really long. The theme in Hoplomachus Victorum is incredible. I cannot state this enough. The arenas are the true stars of this show, and the stadium seating alone ensures that you'll feel as if you are a gladiator. I almost felt like Russell Crowe. And that's it. This was Solo Board Gaming Night. Thank you so much for taking your time to hang out with me. And I hope that you have a great game night. Take care.